This is our penultimate home game of the season. It's our biggest game at the Emirates this season. Gunners, cherries need to get popped. Welcome to my preview. Yes, my people, then welcome back to channel 1 Dini. First of all, I want to say thank you to anyone and everyone who watched my review of the North London derby a few days ago, the first video on channel 1 Dini. I do appreciate it a lot. And if this is your first time here, please go and show that video some love. Go watch it, tell me what you thought of it, what I could improve, everything else, and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. I already know what I could improve, but what do you think? Because I might have missed something. And like I said, again, if this is your first time here, hit that sub button on the way in. It's going to help my channel greatly. And the love I receive will be returned. Most definitely. Now, with all of those logistics out of the way, let's get into the preview. So the last time we played Bournemouth at the Emirates, it was absolute mayhem. Philip Billing scored in the first 9 seconds to score the second fastest Premier League goal ever. And even half to half time, 57th minute, we went 2-0 down to Bournemouth. The scoreline up until that point didn't tell the story because we had a lot of chances. And I was saying to my friend at the time, do not worry. We're going to come back and we're going to win this game. Partey, White, Reece Nelson, the rest is history. It was a fantastic, fantastic game of football for the context of the season at the time of what we could have potentially done. Out of the 15 times we played Bournemouth in our history, we've only lost once. Do you know when that one loss came? January 2018. Wenger's last season. We lost 2-1. Poor Wenger. He did have a tough last season. He definitely did. I wonder what he said post-match as well. What did he say post-match after that game? Probably something like, well, you know, the players, they were a little bit jaded and they were a little bit tired. And Wenger's my guy, man. Wenger's my guy. It's all good. All jokes aside, he's calm. He has his statue. It's all good. But back to Arsenal and our form with Bournemouth, because we have been brilliant. Again, at the vitality of the season, we beat them 4-0. Same game where Odegaard encouraged Saka to give Kai the penalty to get him off in his stats and to get him scoring goals. I don't know why. Of course, there is the fact that since Dubai, we've scored 48 goals, conceded 8. Some of those goals were even gifts, rare. But we have reason to be confident going into this game tomorrow at the Emirates Stadium. I feel confident. But then again, should we be totally confident? Let's see what Bournemouth are bringing to this party. First of all, let's talk about their manager, Areola. Now, he came into Bournemouth at a time of turmoil, I might say, at the beginning of the season. Well, he came in at the end of the summer, but at the beginning of the season, definitely a lot of people had Bournemouth tipped to be relegated. And out of their first 10 games, they did only win 1 game. But even in those first 10 games, you could see the high-pressing type of energetic football that Areola wanted to play. Absolutely. And I feel the Premier League form table right now shows that. Because in the last 12 games alone, Bournemouth sit 5th in the Premier League table, ahead of teams like Chelsea, Tottenham, and Manchester United. Teams that have spent millions, hundreds of millions, maybe some might even say billions on their squads. So Areola and Bournemouth can be absolutely proud of what they are doing right now. The feeling is good. And I feel like that has absolutely translated to their squad for players like Dominic Solanke and Justin Kluivert, who we're going to get into later in the video. So the feeling is good around Bournemouth, and that starts with him, Areola. And Arteta has always had high praise for him. I think they've been brethren from young or something, so he's always going to have high praise for him. However, when that whistle blows tomorrow, you're not brethren. But when the game ends, you can be brethren again. For 90 minutes, you are not friends. Okay? Now, key players. I did touch on a couple of the key players earlier. Let's start with the first one, Dominic Solanke. having his best Premier League season ever right now, scoring 18 goals. He can drop in to midfield. He can act as a target man. He can let the wingers run off him. He will be a problem tomorrow if we are not careful, and he will score if we give him a chance. Another player we can look out for is Justin Kluivert. Justin Kluivert is starting to find his feet in the Premier League. And obviously, if you know football, you know his pops, Patrick Kluivert. Now, Justin's got some shoes to fill, but rightly so. He's doing it in his own way. He's writing his own story. Whether he'll get to the heights of his pops, who knows? But he's finding his feet at Bournemouth and he's having a good season so far. And another pacey, problematic winger we need to look out for is Semenyo. Now, he did come off injured against Brighton. Their last game, yes, he did come off injured against Brighton. And the thought was he could potentially miss the rest of the season. But today, in his press conference, Iriola did confirm that Semenyo is fit and available to play against Arsenal at the Emirates tomorrow. And the last player I'll bring up is Philip Billing. Well, I've already brought him up. He scored the second fastest goal against us last season. So I just want to keep him quiet in general. He is a good midfielder. I do like Billing. So those are my players to watch out for. And as Bournemouth are coming to the Emirates tomorrow, none of these players are going to have any fear. I mean, they do have an outside chance of Europe. They have an outside chance of Europe, but I don't think they'll get it because they'll need a lot of results to go their way. But they're safe from relegation. The players are playing well. They're happy with the manager. They have no fear right now. They have no fear of Arsenal. So with all of that information, are you still confident? Am I still confident? Of course I'm still confident. Of course I'm still confident that we can get a win. I mean, look at us this season. I mean, the first half of the season, we was trying to find out a way, trying to, match the control to the attack. And since Dubai, it's almost like it's just done that. It's like it's just done that, And since Dubai, since we've come back from that break, we've just been brilliant. There's a lot of players that can have a lot of honourable mentions in this section right now as to why I'm still absolutely confident. First of all, Declan Rice came second today in the Football Writers Association Awards. He's had a brilliant season. He's had 8 or 9 out of 10 performances for most of the season. He's been brilliant. The midfield general that we've been missing, that's got the legs to run, it's almost like having 2 players, another extra player because of the legs and because of the runs and because he just keeps going like a Duracell battery. Declan Rice has been a brilliant acquisition to Arsenal Football Club. We have another big game tomorrow because the job's not done. And what else I'm going to talk about? I'm going to talk about another midfielder, Martin Odegaard. Captain, fantastic. Most people did say that Arsenal won't be able to do it again. Blah, blah, blah. That's what people said. But Odegaard, young captain, leading us in another title charge, being a key point in this team for most of the season, if not all of the season. How can I not be confident when we have players like this in our team? Gabriel, Saliba, Rack, and Stuan. Solid defensive pairing, them two. The best defensive 2 in the Premier League this season. We can talk about Kai Havertz as well, who's been absolutely, practically almost brilliant since Dubai, since the turn of the year, since all that madness happened with West Ham and Fulham before the end of the year. Kai's been brilliant. And then we can talk about having Thomas Partey back in our midfield. It's just been a joy seeing him back, seeing him play football, especially against Chelsea and against Tottenham. It's just a joy seeing him play. So on our day, if all them players play well, tell me why I shouldn't be confident. And now with that being said, let's get into the predicted 11. This is the 11 that I believe Arteta is going to pick to face Bournemouth tomorrow. We're not going to mess around here. Raya in goal. Been a big Ramsdale fan, but his time at Arsenal definitely seems over, sadly. So David Raya goes in goal. At right back, we're going to have Ben White. He's been brilliant. Since the turn of the year, he's been brilliant. A lot of the players did struggle in that first half of the season. And since the turn of the year, we've seen the Ben White that we loved from last season. Coming in, getting assists, getting goals, Ben White stays. Of course, the centre-backs stay the same. Saliba, Gabriel, Ruck and Stone. And then next to them, we've got Tomiyasu. Our fullbacks are going to have... It could be tough for them. It could be tough for them with Semenyo and Clive on either way. But yes, Tomiyasu in the left side of defence. In that holding position. In the 6, Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey. Just do what you want to do. Do your thing. Break up play. Just do those turns where it's like, where are you going? And then suddenly the whole pitch just opens up. Thomas Partey in the 6. In the 8th position, we're going to have Declan Rice. Of course, Declan Rice, you go and do your thing. Next to him, of course, Martin Odegaard. That's Odegaard's position. Next to Rice and Phil, that is Odegaard's position. Right there. And the front 3, we're going to go Kai Havertz down the middle. Bukayo Saka on the left. Bukayo Saka on the right. And I'm going to put Martinelli on the left. I know Trossard did start the last 2 London derbies, and I would think that Arteta would start him again in this game. But for some reason, I really believe that Martinelli is going to start the game. I feel like Arteta is going to want to blitz Bournemouth as quickly as he can. Whether that will happen tomorrow, I don't know. But that's what I feel is his thinking. So the only change coming from the last 2 games is Martinelli coming back in on the left wing. And that team wins the game, in my opinion. Start from the off, start strong. I believe we'll win the game. And in terms of predictions, I'm going 4-1 to the Arsenal. I believe in the first half, we'll get the 2 that we need. In the second half, Bournemouth will get a goal back, and then we'll just score 2 more goals and kill off the game. That's what I think will happen. I absolutely think that will happen. But Nostradamus, you know what I mean? I don't know the future, so we can only see what happens until we get there. Now, going into this game tomorrow, we must make sure that we collect all 3 points, because my assumption is that Man City will collect 3 points when they face Wolves later in the day. I don't think I've mentioned Man City once in this video, but you are here. Rent free. We're right here. Rent free, because we know what you do. So yes, all we can do is keep applying the pressure. And yeah, I feel good about this game. I do absolutely feel good about this game. So Arsenal, just bring home the win. We need it. So that about wraps up my Arsenal versus Bournemouth preview. First of all, before I leave, I want to say thank you to anyone and everyone who watched this video and my first video. Like I said, it is greatly appreciated. Any love I receive will automatically be returned from my channel. So thank you very, very much. I want to say it won't just be Arsenal content. I do want to do more, and I am going to do more, but as of right now, my knee is in a brace, so we can't do much. We can't do too much. When I'm free to run again, doing much more fun content, as well as Arsenal content. So stay tuned. Turn on them post notifications. What a mercy. And yes, I will be back tomorrow after the Bournemouth game, hopefully reviewing a big, important, emphatic win by the Arsenal. Until then, please stay safe, enjoy your weekend, and love always.